Alright. Welcome to the Drift Wizard Twitch stream. We are still playing Bleak Faith Forsaken. We are, where are we? Aeronopolis, the center tower, about to fight and really practice this time the boss, Nurgel. Nurgel. We're going to go with Nurgel for this time. It just seems fitting for him. Toward the end game boss fight, you'd expect it to be hard in a Souls type of game, and he is. With any of these type of bosses in Bleak Faith, similar to Conrad, the first boss, similar to the Plague Nemesis who we just fought last video. That style of fighting, although more of a samurai look and move set. If you memorize his moves and you can recognize them earlier, you have a better chance. I have a tanky build for this fight. I'm wearing the Citadel armor, and you can see I have a halberd equipped. Let's see, be more specific. I think it's Solaris, and it has a passive, the heavy hitter and the aberrant strike. I forget to use my passives a lot on this, or my special hit, which is really a extra spawn character hit. I've added crystals for critical damage, leech, 4% weapons damage is health. I love this crystal because it gives me hope. You know, if I'm running out of flasks, hopefully I can less so with a tanky weapon versus short swords and knives. You can steal life back from him, and as my perk items, vampirism leveled up to 2, and berserker, and one other that escapes me at this moment. So I'm moving slow, but it's all about timing and distance. He has a long sword. These towers, if you haven't faced Nurgel before, when he goes into his flight mode a few times during the fight and shoots projectile beams at you, at the very end of that attack, every time will come a large wave that will get you, unless you're behind one of these towers. But they are very squishy towers, and you through aberrant strike, or you through Nurgel getting excited, can destroy them, thus removing some of your cover during those flight attacks. And so we're just gonna excuse me, I'm locking onto him for this fight. I've just found it. Basically, it's like studying for a test. I'm practicing right now. If I hope to get him toward the end of this video, and I'll crop out that video for the highlights, and that'll be our stream. But yeah, if you don't study for a test at school, college, high school, whatever, middle school, you're going to do poorly on that test. And I find that with Souls-based bosses, and I got to say, you know, for all the constructive criticism, you know, this game has taken, the boss fights are cool, especially these style of bosses that are not the tall, long-legged ones. Again, and that's been addressed many times on the Bleak Faith Discord, that we'd like a little more exciting big bosses. He has a special attack that is almost unavoidable unless you keep distance from him. That one right there. I'm trying to keep the fight away from the towers and really toward the outside. You'll see that during this flight attack, we really need to get toward the outside of the arena anyway, so that means less running. Okay, this is his, I hit my special there, but that's okay, we'll use it early. And it's just memorizing. He has a 2-strike, a 3-strike, and a couple other attacks. His special, that little laser attack, which really is easily avoidable even by walking if you just kind of keep moving from side to side. You know, I'm moving to the left. He's a right-handed enemy. Again, I'm just trying to miss a swing, and his 2 most common attacks are so slow, and they're build up 1, that's a 3-1-3, that you can get behind him and give a heavy attack. And I cannot do, even with this weapon, I can hardly do enough weapon damage. Now, he got me there. With just a regular attack, it just would take forever, and my concentration would lapse with his skill set if I didn't use heavies. And so I took out the last boss with the katanas, a light build. Um, so it's kind of neat to experiment with different kinds. And again, use whatever weapon that you've been playing with and been practicing with. In theory, I've not seen it done, although I'm sure it could be a good gamer, which I don't claim to be. I'm the average gamer, which is the point of our channel here. Should be able to take out any of these bosses or any Souls bosses. There's his attack. You get so little time to react to it. Should be able to take out any Souls type of bosses with a stick naked, you know, and if that's your style, I'd love to see that. I don't mean that mockingly. I would admire that. You can get to where you have the choreography of his moveset so memorized. But in a good boss fight, you may know all 4 or 5 of his moves, but you're not sure how they're going to be strung together. For example, that one will come out of nowhere, and he'll do his 3-pronged attack. Although slow, he'll do 2 in succession. You don't know. There's the 3 now, and he will always counter you. See, I'm almost out of life there, and I forgot to. My flasks are not reloading with the spawn. That's kind of unique, really, to this time playing. So I don't know if something's up with my Steam or with the game, but there's been some inconsistency with that, and so I think if I just refill my belt at the end of this run before the next one, I'll be okay. But yeah, I have 1 flask and I'm almost dead, so the only way, because I put some lifesteal, is for me to get cheesy. And light attacks with knife-based weapons, for some reason, because you can do more strikes, it's based upon strikes. See, if you space off for a second, that special, unless you keep range from him, which you don't fully want to do because you want to get hits on him, so difficult. So let's go in and let's, yeah, for some reason my health was unequipped, probably because I'm totally out of them. So let's craft. Go over here to the crafting menu, and let's see how many we can build. I usually build the max amount of these. There's lesser restorative. We have enough. Ooh, I'm out of organic material. Oh my word. So I can only go with lesser because it requires different components. Well, that's disappointing. What other options do I have? Restorative fluid. Yeah, out of. You can see the components that make up that fluid there on the right. I'm out of organic material. So that's what you get for practicing. You go through your stuff, and that's why my belt was empty, because I was out of fluid. So okay, just make sure, put it in belt 1 there. I'm hardly using my other, but you can't equip 2 health potions to the best of my experience. Why do I have so few of these? Hang on here. Only have 4. Oh, I'm gonna have to go farming, or get really good at this. I wanted to take off. I've taken off pieces of my armor. If you know the choreography good enough, you can avoid hits, in theory, well enough to do that. But with his flight attack, those laser beams and that wave that goes out, it's just so inconsistent for me based upon my spacing to the towers, whether I can get him or not. So we're going to have to go farming, unfortunately. But for now, we will equip it, and we're practicing, so we'll have to go take out some minions here in just a little bit. Just to save a few steps, I put up a humongous mirage spawn point just a little closer to the boss arena, as close as they would allow me to. You know, when you're doing this repetitively in practice, it's a pain. So, you know, I'm tempted to switch. Let's just experiment, because we're practicing. I've tried heavy. Let's go light, and I'm going to go really light. I mean, I'm going to just trust that I can show up for the towers. I'm going to go to my, and I have this one beefed up enough. The other ones, I really haven't spent time wasting resources to build up. So katanas, I'm going to go primary. I'm going to drop some weight. Isn't that what we all want? So I'm going to get rid of my helmet. This is kind of my Elden Ring thing when I was getting too heavy. I think armor pieces aren't as important as the points that get, so, whether I drop my pants or drop my gloves, it makes a difference in the sense there's a different weight value, and I assume a different tankiness to each, but who knows. So I've not practiced this recently, and that was, thankfully, barely, see, he's going to come right up, and I just did two wrong things in a row, but I have a quicker build, so I think because I can hit him more times, I can steal more life. So that's a 2 attack. You just memorize, and it's hard to tell between the 2 and the 3 because they start similarly. There are differences. There's the 2. The 3 is a much bigger wind up. After I say that disc attack is no problem, so I'm going to do a heavy on him. No matter what weapon you use doing it, look how little damage it did. I think that's why I went back to the halberd. Yeah, okay. Stick with what you practice with, dude. So, there's just no margin for I'm not good enough, honestly, to not take him on with full armor. So, stop being a hero. Put on your clothes. Go back to the halberd, which is what you've been practicing with, and keep talking to yourself. Drift. Okay. So, for many reasons, I'm not going to try to use many of my health flasks and just rely upon the lifesteal to get my health back. I'm going to have to go farming here pretty soon, and that's not going to make for a very exciting watch. Because you're so excited with what I'm doing right now, right? Okay. Of course you are. To my fan, my one fan. But I am loyal to that fan, let me tell you. I think most Twitch streamers, YouTube streamers, the game, and mine isn't only a gaming stream, most of it's music I've written and recorded and stuff, but most of them do it because they enjoy doing it. I guess we like the sound of our own voice, but and there's a whole lot of 1 to 10 follow Twitch streams out there, dreaming the dream, but you know what? I'm realistic enough to know that you're probably not gonna be getting a income from this, either passive or full-time, so just have fun. And again, when you're talking, you're not concentrating, and Nurgel requires concentration. Nurgel! Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Nurgel! I hit you now. Okay, Nurgel. Yes. Fear me. Oh. Yep. Fear me. My word. Nurgel. Okay. That's why we're calling this a practice session. Again, this takes every little bit of my concentration. Which it should. This is a Souls-based game, and falls under that genre, which means it's hard, and the bosses are hard. There's a degree of predictability and unpredictability, and that's why we love to play them. And I find that I'm a spammer, I'm just leaving my button click on there. You can pick up from my mic because it is what it is. And you can tell me freaking out. I'm just a very emotional gamer. And I think that makes it fun. Just to, those of us who stream probably pretended to stream in our heads as we were gaming before we ever decided to record anything. And that's what I do when I game. I'm just talking in my head as if I was live streaming, so I might as well live stream it for my fan. Okay, just having a conversation here. That's the thing, is his sky attacks are triggered by his health, and so I could do circles like this around him all day, I think. Watch him prove me wrong, as Nurgel kind of seems to do. But actually, you guys out there probably caused me to be more patient because I'm trying to multitask and think. And we just had tornadoes pass by our area, so that's exciting. No margin. I tried to roll, try to get out of the way. I was too close. The jeopardy in this fight is that if I'm far away enough like that, I can avoid his special attack, but I also want to be in position. See, I missed it that time. It gave me some reaction time. But, I want to be in position to do this too, get a heavy on him. So it's that risk-reward thing. Do you hang close so you can get closer on a common attack? Or, see, I wasn't that far away. Now you better roll out of the way really quick because that will happen. Okay, we're practicing, guys. We are practicing. Hey, if you happen to stumble across this, you're curious about Bleak Faith, if you haven't tried it yourself, appreciate you here. Sorry, I haven't figured out yet how to put chat on there. I would gladly interact with you, but generally I put these up, make a highlight of them, and just leave them for my fan to watch afterwards. But hey, if you're here, I will see the comments afterwards, and appreciate you so much giving me some of your time. Appreciate a follow for maybe we can get up to 2. I do a giveaway if I could get to 2 followers, but I have nothing to give away of any importance to you, so it's okay. Again, I'm just living life here in the Bleak Faith. I was moving and rolling, man. Nurgel!
What are you going to do?
Nurgel! Okay. Boom! Yeah, Nurgel, come on, my friend. Come on. Okay. Ooh, that was hard to get some visuals. I took out Plague Nemesis without locking on. I'm usually a lock-on gamer, and part of it's just because I honestly get dizzy. I'm not playing on a large screen. I'm just playing on a gaming laptop. Stream, PC. Steam, I'm sorry, Stream and Steam, I tell you. I just got lucky there. I totally rolled just because it seemed cool to do. Okay, and so I'm locking on. Again, I took out Plague Nemesis, not locking on. I think there's benefit to that. You're more mobile, especially when you're playing. I'm playing with a third-party Xbox controller, and it's getting a little old. I don't think its response is very well. My response certainly isn't very well. Okay, there's a 3-strike. That takes him a lot to develop and leaves him wide open. That's the easiest. Now, I'm almost just expecting that. See, if you just expect it coming, then all it takes is a split second. 1, 2, 3. You see how that 3 attack is the wide sweeping arcs. Barely got him there. His range is incredible with that wicked sword. I wish we could get that sword. I was able to pick up after you kill 3 bosses in the game. It levels up the arena, and you get the Vermiculan Knights replacing some of the NPCs, not NPCs, but the orcs, the common enemies. And so those that are not Vermiculan Knights just stay the same. They're easy to take down when you're leveled up, especially after 3 bosses. But these Vermilion Knights, depending on your build, if you're not a level 3 and have level 3 crystals in your armor and weapon, man, they are so hard to build. You really got to treat them like a boss, have a wide space. That's why I mentioned in my last stream that I actually played about 3/4 of this game through, did the same thing with Elden Ring. Learned a lot, watched a bunch of streams, and then instead of just trying to finish out that way, I just built a new character and applied what I learned. I figured, in common man style of gaming, okay, I should be able to get heavy on him now. Oh, part hitbox, part yo. See, I knew it was coming. I was distant from him, and I still missed it. I mean, hopefully you guys that are a few years younger than me have a little better reaction time. Moving to his left. Again, you can move to his right. Whatever you practice. It just makes more physical sense in real-world physics. You got a right-handed enemy. try to get around to his blind side and stay out of the wider arc of his swing. Just a regular attack, and he still got me. Have I even used... Okay. Okay. Nurgel! Come on, Nurgel! 1, 2, 3. That one's becoming easier to recognize. Always get out of the way. He's always going to do an upswing. He will always counter you. That was a double 3. Usually they come quicker than that, so I was able to just walk away from that one. Okay. Pay attention. He should be... Probably when I get him 2 more hits, he'll start to fly. I missed an opportunity there. Wasn't close enough. Now I can get him here, but I got to roll away fast. Yep. Okay. Sound effects help the experience, don't they? Sad thing is, when I'm alone and not streaming, I often make the same sound effects. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay. And I do really bad. Oh, I scootied. I wonder if I would have went the other direction. He just seemed to be drifting to my left, and that. Okay, buddy. Oh, that was a 3, and I thought it was a 2. If you always assume it's a 3, you may miss some opportunities, but you're alive. Oh man. Do as the gamer says, not as the gamer does. I say keep those towers for later. But man, you get focused on the fight. Okay. It seems like more often than not that special attack comes after the rings. So just got to be waiting for it and just hop anyway. 1. Oh, that's a 2. The 2 when he jumps, and so memorize the jump. And the 3 one is wide sweepy. Thrusts his arm to the sky for the rings. And the special attack, most often 1, follows the rings. 2, 3, get behind him. Heavy hit. I have my... okay, here's the sky. I'm going to sheath my weapon. I'm going to get in position to keep moving. I mean, these things spawn. You cannot not step on them. You can outrun them, but you're going to see this wave coming, and I don't have a tower to protect me, and that was it. My health was too low. Should have healthed up at the beginning of that attack. But again, you want to run out as much as you can from those disc attacks when he's up in the sky. And then, you know, I'm saying the attack lasts 6 seconds. I haven't really timed it. But, and then to be behind a tower, because the wave will come, you will take damage. You know, I really built my build for agility so I could move with all this heavy stuff on, and I built it for strength because I didn't want to last forever in boss fights, but my armor isn't as tanky as I would like it to be. There's some things I like that, you know, as I'm practicing the choreography. This is dance practice, and it's okay. I'm just inviting you along for the journey, watching an average gamer enjoy a great game, or I'd say a good game that will be a great game after all the patches are done. Again, if you're on Twitch, you've probably watched enough YouTube commentaries and stuff, and Twitch commentaries about what's wrong with the game. Even from day one, before they'd added the major patches, I've enjoyed it. Yeah, it took me about 30 minutes to get my controller dialed in the early days. Controller support was not there. But after a few minutes, and I knew it was coming, and so I found it playable, enjoyable. You get used to the glitches. Nothing really is game breaking, unless occasionally the game does break. If you get some of the boss fights, like I took on the worm today, and in the desert, and there was a couple things that happened that I would say were game breaking, where I just got stuck in the sand, couldn't move, you know, where I actually, it allowed me to take out the worm. I wasn't even in the arena. I was just in the desert, in the sand, and somehow I got underground, and he grabbed me, and I actually killed him with the special attack you use during those big boss fights, and so Oops, I got hung up on a tower there. At least most of my towers are standing. Okay. It's actually good practice for me because I'm concentrating on what I'm saying, but also it's becoming more a muscle movement to just do this dance with them. And that's the best analogy I've been able to use as I've watched, people play Souls-based games, is they memorize the choreography. And in some cases it's really scripted. Some of the Souls bosses, I mean, if you memorize, but even in that, I've seen players in Elden Ring who are speedrunners. They may have the choreography and the everything memorized, but then the boss spawns differently. And that's what I like about there's just a degree of unpredictability. It doesn't work the same way every time. So even for guys that are just, this is their livelihood, and they spend 8 hours a day, either live streaming or practicing, watching other videos, oops, okay. Well, I like this because his air attacks are spawned by his health, so yeah, if I could stay alive for a half hour, we could just dance, and it's great practice. I wish there was an option in all Souls-based games where you could come back and refight a boss just for the fun of it on the same character after you defeated them. Like you come back into the arena, it's empty, but you can have a setting toggle on or off that you're given the option to do it again, because of course that was bad. You can always build a new character, but again, if it's not taken me days to beat these kind of games, it's taken me weeks, and that's because I have a job and life and family, and can't sit and play video games all day. And I think that's most gamers. Again, this is the Blue Collar Gamers Twitch stream, and I enjoy you laughing at me and laughing with me. And there's so many streams out there with much better speakers and certainly much better gamers, but I think there's a place here for just something different. It really is a journey. Oh, am I dead? Yeah, I got hung up on the rock. That was total. Now, why am I not? I'm just out of flasks. I burned up all my flasks. We're gonna have to go farming, guys. So we'll tool around the world and build up some health, pick up some health flasks, continue practicing, and that's the plan for this evening. And hopefully by the end of the stream, Nurgel will be in our rearview mirrors. And boom! Throw in a few sound effects just to keep you awake. If you're in a different part of the world than Midwest America, I hope you didn't just do that. Hope my soothing voice will lull you into a peaceful sleep. So.